The college football experience, Conference USA season preview and picks episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, brought to you by our very own Patreon. Yes, score exclusive perks and content available only to our patrons at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Once again, that is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to FGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience, Conference USA season preview and picks episode on a Saturday. It's like the games are on or something right now, folks. I'm excited. I can't. It's a brand new Conference USA. I would play the real American Hulk Hogan music if it wasn't for me getting sued every fucking time we do it. All right. And not only sued, but blocked from Russia, red flagged from YouTube, kicked off of YouTube. Several things happened with that. I didn't know that song can break the internet.
Well,
you want to bring down Twitter? Play that fucking song on Twitter.
Right? Were we playing this during the war with Russia? I think we have an answer of why. They don't want any patriotism going on. And Conference USA is among the most patriotic. They got Liberty University.
There we go. There we go. YouTube.com/the college experience. As you see the great Bobby Petrino, our true ambassador. That's actually what we should be doing. Yeah. Like, we don't need the UN. Just send Bobby Petrino over there. All right. Yeah.
Liberty University could never exist in Russia.
Yeah. I mean, Bobby Petrino would be loved by the Russians.
Yeah. I mean, Bobby Petrino would be loved by everyone.
The motorcycles probably crash a little more often, a lot of ice over there, but I mean,
this is what you get when you get a Saturday night podcast in the summer.
Bobby Petrino could be the answer to all of our problems. Maybe the gas prices, Live Golf coming in and owning, they owned all of golf now.
That's right.
Should have sent Petrino in. Just
What's
saying.
The old saying? Alcohol is the cause and solution to all my problems.
Yeah.
Bobby Petrino is the cause and solution to all my problems.
Very true. Very true.
What the hell are we talking about?
No, we're talking. This is an important conversation right now. No, look, you're probably wondering just who the hell you're listening to. My name is Kobe Swigga Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink, and I don't have stress, and I'm healthy.
This is a brand new day and age. The Conference USA, as much as we like regional stuff, they've been listening to the pod, I think, because they're doing all weekdays. They add some cool teams in there, and they do have some regionality. UTEP and New Mexico State have a fucking old-ass rivalry. Battle of I-10, is it?
Yep.
Then you got the 100 miles of hate between Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky.
Yep.
And then whatever we want to deem the hate with Liberty. I know these other institutions must hate them, but I like it. I like it all in one conference, and they're doing weekday games. I'm excited. I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi,
let's get it going, buddy. A little USA look, and in case you're wondering, just maybe you're not up to date on the crazy movement in college football. Well, the new CUSA is Sam Houston State, Jacksonville State, Middle Tennessee, New Mexico State, Florida International, UTEP, Louisiana Tech, Liberty, Western Kentucky, and next year, Kennesaw State joins the picture. 10 teams, but if you watched the media day, seems like they're not happy with 10. They might go to 12 or 14. So watch out for the Conference USA. They say, hey, Big Ten, SEC, bring it on. Let's go. We are also joined by third man in the booth, the DFS god himself. And look, when college football season kicks into gear, when we're full on, I mean, I think we're already in to the season, but when the games start happening, when those Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday Conference USA games are happening,
Beautiful.
DFS episodes are going to be flying off the shelves, right? With all those weekday games, it's going to be fantastic. NC Nick covers. He does all that DFS stuff. We're going to play in a fantasy football league too. Hop on in if you want in. Come
college
to the Discord.
Fantasy. Make sure people know college fantasy.
Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Go over there, hop in the college football section. Let us know. But give it up for the rooftop IPA drinking, homebrew making, tobacco road living, the free lock giving former Herndon Basketball League MVP. Give it up for NC Nick in the place to be.
There we go. Happy Saturday evening, boys.
Oh yeah. Give it the vibes.
Happy Saturday.
Saturday is a wonderful time to do a podcast. It does make you feel like it's almost season.
Oh, the season's so close. All I do is dream about games. That's what I'm doing. Every night I go to sleep just thinking about games. How's this gonna be?
And really, guys, I haven't been this excited for Conference USA in a while. So they did two good things. They're playing a lot more weekday games, and I like the additions.
Yeah, I got to be honest. At first I was like, man, with all the teams that left for the AAC, where's this gonna fit? And then I went through the other day and I was going through the conferences and I was like, it's a fun ass conference. I think it's a very fun conference. Shout out to Anthony Easton. Says, I remember the days when Louisville, ECU, and Southern Miss were batting for the CUSA title. That's true. Very true. Now
all three of them are in three different conferences.
It's true. It's true. But I mean, the Conference USA and TCU, I remember TCU was in the Conference USA.
Yeah.
They're in the national championship last year. See what you can do. See what you can do when you start in the CUSA.
That's right.
Honestly,
stepping stone to greatness.
I think Jacksonville State and Sam Houston, I think those are teams that, I mean, if they put forth the right amount of resources, these guys could move up quickly, just due to their geographical locations and, just being brand new to the FBS level after having a lot of success on the FCS level. I think these guys, give them a few years. I think they could be, real players on the G5 level.
Well, I mean, Liberty, the way they spend money, I expect Liberty to be in a power conference in the next 15 years, right?
Yeah.
As long as they will let them in there with their view of things.
Who knows what a power conference will even look like in 15 years, let alone 2 years.
Yeah, but another one that I want to key in on is UTEP.
Yeah.
I know they've sucked for a long time, but that city's gigantic. And if they just get this thing going, I think that one is a sleeping giant. I mean, El Paso's gigantic. The amount of people in El Paso.
Do a lot of people in El Paso care about college football?
Yes,
they will
Texas.
if you start winning. Yeah, it's Texas. Yeah,
a little bit of a different part of Texas. It's basically Mexico.
Look, West Texas, the Permian Panthers. I know it's a little.
NFL's talking about putting a franchise in Mexico. All right, look,
I mean, there's lots of people. True. Now, can UTEP really get the city behind them? That's a question.
Hopefully, I think they could,
so, because they have a great stadium. They have a good history. It would be cool to see Utah come up. But
Utah or UTEP?
I'm sorry, UTEP.
Yeah, no. Look, how many bourbons this guy had? Me and Patty C were talking earlier off air about teams or places that how could that come to fruition? Patty C, Jerry Kill has ignited the New Mexico State fan base, which we'll talk about in a bit. But you know who? Dana Dimel. There's a strong chance if UTEP doesn't make a bowl that he's fired this year, right? Well, El
Paso, by that way, the number 21 biggest city in the United States.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wild. This thing is that could be bigger than Washington D.C. Bigger
than Las Vegas, bigger than Boston. Obviously, the metropolitan areas of those places are bigger because they have suburbs, and El Paso doesn't.
But because they have desert.
Yeah,
but no, that's one where we talked about this, and I'm going to go on a tangent here. I'll stop it at this. Gary Patterson's best man in his wedding was Jerry Kill. Gary Patterson currently not employed as a head coach anywhere, right? All I'm saying is this. Jerry Kill is at New Mexico State. the battle of the I-10, 45 minutes apart. Why can't best friends come together to get the rivalry really fucking going?
That would be great.
Oh, come on, let's go.
I mean, if Rocky and Apollo Creed became best friends,
that's what I'm saying.
Why?
Jerry Killen,
Petrino,
Jerry Patterson,
and Bobby Petrino can go to New Mexico next year if they fire Gonzalez because he's like Uncle Paulie.
Hey.
If Uncle Paulie, all right, and Balboa could be friends even after, right?
If the Mountain West could turn into Rocky, then Conference USA could have some great rivals. What the hell are we talking about?
All right, let's get to it. But I do like these teams. Patty's. I'm just gonna go ahead and say I have a favorite team in this conference before we get into to breaking all these down. I am a New Mexico State Aggies fan, as I locked up the over, and Patty C laughed at me for saying that they will make a bowl. They not only went to a bowl, they won a bowl. Jerry Kill, Nick, do you have a favorite team here in the CUSA?
My new favorite team is going to be Jacksonville State. I liked them on the FCS level. They beat Florida State 2 years ago. I keep on telling you guys the South is football. You guys keep talking about this Northeast nonsense. So I'm kind of rooting for Jacksonville State here to come in guns a-blazing and maybe even make a bowl game in their first year.
You're stealing Patty C's team. You can't take Jacksonville State.
I like Jacksonville
State.
I like
because Rich Rodriguez.
I like Rich Rodriguez. But I'll tell you, that's not my team though. That's not my program. It may be my team this year because Rich Rodriguez is there. But come on, Liberty, baby.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
Liberty.
A good Liberty guy.
That's a fun program.
Did you donate?
I donated to Jerry Falwell. No, I'm just kidding.
Did he have you film? Did he have you fuck his wife while he jerked off in the corner?
Yeah, exactly. Right? Jerry Falwell put hands on me and I fell over and started convulsing.
Yeah, on that same note, remember FCS in the spring? I was on Sam Houston and they came through and won it for me.
I thought that was going to be your answer, but you ditched him. You ditched him last second. It's okay.
I mean, closer geographically to me is Alabama.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
You are in the South.
There you go. Let's get to it, guys, because we're going to go in order of the win total. Team one is that team NC Nick is referring to, the Bearcats. Shout out to Go Bearcats, longtime fan of the show. I know he's still
FIU first.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. FIU is first.
Sorry.
Okay.
On the sheet, it might not be in order.
Yeah, that's fair. The airport, Florida International is the first team we talk about with a win total of 3. 3 wins for the airport, but once again, you guys, I don't know if it was you, NC Nick, but I feel like you guys didn't give me any respect when McIntyre gets 4 wins. A win total was like 2 last year, I feel like, and this guy hammered it home. He did get rated in the portal again this off season, so a little nervous about perhaps.
I mean, almost unfair after FIU was so bad 2 years ago. He has a good first year winning 4 games. And then Maryland grabs a player. Auburn does. Stanford does. Florida does. The Illini do. It's like, come on, man. Can you leave the guy alone? Let him build a program?
Yeah.
I don't think that's what they're thinking. I don't think playing by the rules is in their mind.
Well, I mean, they are playing by the rules. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
I'm kind of just joking here. But, yeah, those poor losses definitely are going to hurt.
As you mentioned, 1-16 in Butch Davis's last 2 years, 4-8 last year. Should we talk about the trend of this program?
Oh yeah, the trend of the program I think is up as long as Mike McIntyre's coaching there. I put it as up. Yeah. Nick, what'd you do there?
Oh, of course. I mean, he came in and took a program that was so bad 2 years ago, and things started off a little rough. I think week 1, getting that overtime win against Bryant.
They should have lost that game.
Should have.
That game pisses me off. Every time we talk about this game, Bryant stopped them on 4th down.
Yeah.
Right? They throw a slant. Florida International throws a slant over the middle, right? At like the 50-yard line. Right? Actually, I think before it went to overtime. 4th down, the game's about to be over. It's like 4th and 20. They throw like a deep slant. And the guy catches it and gets nailed by the safety. Absolutely nailed by the safety and incomplete. The guy drops the ball. They call targeting on it, and targeting gave FIU the win. It was such a bullshit targeting too, because it's like he had to hit him hard to make him drop the ball. He did not lead with the helmet. He just hit him hard.
And that nowadays is targeting.
And that got the game to overtime, and they ended up winning in overtime. Sorry, that game just bothered me. Every time I bring that up, yeah.
But if you're a fan of the of FIU, you like that quarterback Grayson James is back for another year. He was not taken from the portal. Now Lexington Steele Joseph, the leading rusher, is gone. Tyrese Chambers, leading receiver, he went to Maryland, is it? Or
Maryland,
right? Yeah. And they only have 2 offensive linemen coming back, and the offensive line coach took a job in the NFL. So offensively, there's a lot of pieces to plug, or a lot of holes to plug, and defense is kind of the same way too. But I'm still thinking that they're still ahead in year 2 of where they were at year 1. So right off the bat, I'm thinking this number is way too low.
I mean, that's my first thought too. They were only favored in 1 game last year, and they won 4. So that was the Bryant game where they should have lost. But
second half of the schedule is very tough. But I think they'll approach the number 3. Within the first 4 games.
Well, and we also have to mention that, look, UTSA, North Texas, Charlotte, FAU, Rice, and UAB are gone. The Conference USA is not as strong as it was a year ago, meaning the in-conference schedule should be easier for everybody.
Yeah. And okay, let's go through the schedule here. They're at Louisiana. What'd you put them trajectory-wise? How do you see? Up. Okay. Up. Week 0. Shout out to them playing a week 0 game. I love these CUSA week 0 games as well as their weekday games. FIU heads to Louisiana Tech. They beat La Tech last year. The only problem is La Tech has been very good in the portal, and FIU's kind of got destroyed in the portal.
Double overtime game. This one.
Colby and I did the La Tech preview, and we were surprised that they were favored by 10.
Oh yeah, I'll take the points all day.
I took the points also, easy, but I did have La Tech winning.
I guess La Tech. I don't know. I feel like FIU is a better team here.
Hank Bachmeier coming down to Ruston.
Bachmeier is really experienced, but man, I feel like it's anyone's game. But I guess because it's in Ruston.
Okay.
La Tech. The Maine Black Bears, who played a ton of close games a year ago, despite having a bad record, but they got raided in the portal too. They're kind of like FIU of the Northeast. I expect FIU to win that game. That's win 1. And if the win total's 3, that's week 1 of college football. So you're sitting there, you're already a third of the way there. You got them beating Maine, Patty C?
Yeah.
I agree.
And you okay? You sure? Because Maine did beat Mississippi State at Mississippi State, not this century.
Last summer I visited the main campus, and I did like the football facilities, but no, I think FIU has this one.
You got a Mike Buck jersey while you're there. Then comes game 3, which is really game 2. I actually like the fact they play week 0.
Yeah,
because North Texas doesn't. And now they take on North Texas in hot ass Florida on September 9th. New coach Eric Morris is at North Texas. They did go to the Conference USA Championship last year. Oh, this is revenge right here. This is a fuck you by the new Conference USA / the old, because FIU was there. I mean, this is winnable because it's a coach's second game, correct? I mean,
it is winnable.
Yeah. Patty C, what do you make of this one?
I'll say this: between Louisiana Tech and North Texas, they get one of them, so I got them at 2-1.
Nick,
I'll join you guys. Why not?
You speaking for me? I haven't answered yet, but I'm going to say 1 and 2.
Not giving them a lot of love. Your guy.
I mean, North Texas has a ton more talent. Let's face it; they're the better team. But to Colby's point, the situationally speaking, they get them at a good spot, and they're at home. Yeah, originally I had 1 and 2 also. You guys kind of talked me into it until Colby benedicted, but I'll stay with that 2-1.
I got them 1 and 2. Okay. Now they head to the ranch where everyone gets twisted. East Hartford, Connecticut, UConn, out of the Big 12.
Stores.
Yeah. But UConn out of the Big 12. Don't miss my joke.
Gotcha.
And this is a loss. This is flat out loss. Jim Moore's got this program going good.
I think so.
How do you see?
Yeah, it's a loss.
I got him 1 and 3.
We'll see what UConn has at the quarterback position. I know it's a battle. Somehow the starter from game 1 last year, what was his name?
Taquan Roberson.
Presumably fully healed. was looking great in the limited action he had at the beginning of last year prior to the injury. Why isn't he the starter? But that actually suggests that they have a good quarterback situation there. So got to go UConn at home.
Yeah. So 1-3. NC Nick, you're taking UConn?
Yes, I am, definitely.
Okay. Then the Flaming Libs of Liberty come in. Patty C's strongest donator.
That's a flaming L right there for FIU.
I got him losing this too. I got him 1-4.
Liberty's got a lot of new faces, a new head coach, a brand new style. Getting them in September is beneficial, but at this point, Liberty is a lot better. So I agree. Liberty wins.
Dick Gersberg is making me laugh in the chat. Says Rich Rod will be in the IFL, the Indoor Football League, before you know it. Go Barnstormers, he says.
That's Arena League.
Same difference.
Man, no, I think they're in the IFL now because the AFL folded and the Barnstormers wanted to keep their franchise, so they went to the IFL. But now there's the new name. AFL coming. Yeah,
excuse me.
Bone up on your arena football there.
I hate arena.
Apparently, I need to.
All right, look, they get a bye week on September 30th, and then they head to Aggie Memorial Stadium in Las Cruces, where they won last year. But this is a Cherry Kills team ended the season with 6 wins out of 7 games, and that one loss was to an SEC school. I got them moving to 1-5. 1-5. Don't panic.
You mentioned that the one loss was to an SEC school. Mention who the wins were against for New Mexico State.
At
there was
Liberty,
two FCS schools within.
Well, well, they had to add one because of the cancellation of the other.
Their last 6 wins included wins over Lamar, Valparaiso, UMass, New Mexico, Bowling Green.
Bowling Green made a bowl. That was in a bowl game.
Not exactly Murderer's Row.
Whoa! He didn't. You notice how he
painted that picture a little bit, better than it really was.
You notice how he didn't mention Liberty when they went to Liberty and won by 35 or something.
That was a nice win. I give you credit for that.
And Bowling Green was a bowl team a year ago. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's a solid win.
Bowling Green beat Marshall. Marshall beat Notre Dame. This is Patty C logic. All right?
This is everyone logic. You judge a team by
they're not going to Aggie Memorial and getting a dub.
When they beat Valparaiso, Bryce Drew wasn't walking through that door. Okay,
Valpo's got a good team. And the Pioneer League. Subscribe to the FCS College Football Experience, which I host. What do you have them doing? You have them going to Las Cruces and winning then, Nick?
50-50 game, but I'm going to take New Mexico State.
Patty?
We literally just previewed New Mexico State.
That's not out yet. They don't know.
Okay, sorry. Mexico State Aggies I'm going with. But maybe there's a little recency bias there. Look, who's a better coach, Mike McIntyre or Jerry Kill?
I think they're on the same level. That's what makes this conference compelling. Can we talk about that for a second? Well, let's finish this team and then I'll talk about it. Yeah. I have them 1-5 to start the season. This is a win though. On October 11th, when UTEP comes into Ricardo Silva Stadium, it's a win. This is the second win of the season. October 11th. Never forget.
UTEP. They lost to them by 34 points last year in El Paso. Is that a concern?
Sure.
UTEP 5-7. FIU 4-8 last year. So I don't know. I have a hard time giving them a win based off of that.
People are sleeping on UTEP a little bit because I think UTEP's going to have one of the better O lines in the league and probably a top 5 or at least top half D line in the league. With that said, I did go FIU at home here. I just think the trip to FIU is a weird trip, and just McIntyre's going to pull a couple out of his ass somewhere on the schedule, and here's one of them.
Yeah,
Here is one of them. Okay, so next up we jump over to. So I have them with 2 wins right now. Nick, you have them with 3.
3.
Right?
We're pushing already.
Patty, you got them at 3, right? Or 2?
Oh, I think I have them at 2.
Now they head to Bauer Stadium in Huntsville, Texas. Take on Sam Houston State. Texas tough. I'm so intrigued by this game. I mean, I actually, if this is in Miami, I'm taking FIU, but because it's at Sam Houston, I'm taking Sam Houston, but I have no idea in this game, to tell you the truth. NC Nick, who are you taking in this game?
Well, I think FIU gets one of the two newbies. When I say, newbies to the FBS. And I think Jacksonville State is better than Sam Houston. Look, Sam Houston, I mentioned earlier, they had that great 2020 spring run. But the only problem is Eric Schmid graduated. Yeah. And ever since Eric Schmid, our guy, graduated, they haven't been so hot, just 5-4 in the FCS last year. And when I was looking into this, Sam Houston State only has 2 starters back on defense.
All right, you talk me into it. Give me a win. Give me a win for the Air.
It's not entirely true that since Eric Schmid left, they've been taking a step back. He graduated after 2020, right?
No,
after the
he played the 21 season also.
Oh, and okay, 11.
He still came out early though. He didn't graduate. He came out early and did not.
A lot of
get
people
drafted.
don't graduate, Colby.
Yeah.
Who comes out early from the FCS?
So Schmid wins the championship. He says Trey Lance did too.
Yeah,
Trey Lance did. Yeah,
fair. Yeah, 5-4 last year. But look, this program was pretty darn good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 plus win seasons in like 7 years, dating from 2011 to 2017. So that's a pretty good program. They have fallen off a little bit recently. I think between the UTEP game and this game, they get 1. So that puts me up at 3.
It puts you reversed me on this one. So I'll go with a dub. I'll go with a dub in Huntsville, Texas.
So Colby, so you guys are both pushing, and I've already hit the over.
Yeah, and now they host the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. I will give this to Rich Rod. He wants to go into Florida and he recruits heavily there. Wants to put on a nice little show before he leaves for Marshall as the next head coach of the Marshall Thundering Herd after he interviews at West Virginia. You see what I did here? Hidden Hawaiian says Sam Houston redshirted almost all of its team from the 2020 season. Last season.
That's right.
Wow.
Because they were preparing for the jump up. That's a very good point.
Well, and you consider the other teams that have won national championships at the FCS level.
Dude, they're probably going to be watch them just cruise through
the
CUSA.
Honestly, but I guess we can talk about it now. But this is a very hard conference to predict because we do have 2 newcomers. Where, look, I know Patty C and I don't watch a whole lot of FCS. Colby watches more. So this is a tough conference to predict.
It is. I was going to make this point. Well, let's finish this team.
Yeah, right.
Let me make a point about this Jacksonville State game that it pertains to what Nick just said, and like trying to understand what the FCS is really capable of. Jacksonville State went 9-2 last year. One of their losses was against their only FBS opponent, 5-7 Tulsa, a game that they lost by 34 points.
What week was that though?
Level of competition about to step up big time for them.
No,
for sure.
What week was it?
Week 4.
See, here's my problem with this assessment. I get your point, and also Tulsa I think was a lot more talented than we realized because their transfers are all starting at Power 5s right now. Also, they had Rich Rod. That was year 1. He was implementing a brand new offense. So I think you got to take it with a little bit of a grain of salt there. Yeah. Now they get 2 bye weeks. That's what I do like about FIU's chances of hitting the over here. I have them at 3 wins. I have them losing to Jacksonville State. NC Nick, you have them losing to Jacksonville State as well.
I do.
Patty?
Yeah.
All right. They get a bye week. Now they head to Johnny Red Floyd Stadium. Best name for a stadium, maybe in college football. Is there a better name than that stadium?
No.
I think it's number 1. Nobody goes into Johnny Red Floyd Stadium, but look, I'm actually expecting regression. I know Middle Tennessee fans that we argued with last year, even though Stockstill should never be fired, should build him a fucking statue after he just got like $1.5 million from Miami. But I think this is a very winnable game. I'm not very high on Middle Tennessee because they lost everybody on their offense.
5 last year.
Whenever you have a brand new quarterback, we'll see. I know that guy's played he's played a few games last couple of years, so he has some experience. What's his name, like Vateo or?
Yeah, they brought in a transfer from Presbyterian too to back him up, but I think this is kind of a 50-50 game. I'll lean Middle Tennessee, but I think it's a lot more 50-50 than just looking at last year's records.
There was a 5-point loss last year in Miami.
That's what I'm saying. And Middle Tennessee lost their whole offense.
Tennessee was
Lane, the wide receiver, went to Virginia Tech. They lost the other wide receiver to somewhere else. They lost a lot of. Chase Cunningham graduated.
Their defense comes. I think
their whole defense is
like
back.
9 guys or something. But
with the exception of their corner, their all corner went somewhere too.
legitimate facts aside, I think Middle Tennessee slaps FIU.
Slaps 4-point game last week.
Slaps them. Middle Tennessee, and that puts us. I have them at 3. You still have them at 3.
Yeah.
Nick, you got them at 4 with 1 game left.
2 games left.
2 games left. They're at Arkansas. Pulled pork Pittman. Sam pulled pork Pittman.
Yeah, 1 winnable game left, I suppose.
Not really.
Yeah, I don't think
Western Kentucky's gonna slap that ass too.
Hold on. Yeah. I can build you a case.
All right.
What if Western Kentucky's Tyson Helton gets hired away
before the season?
That doesn't really happen before the season ends.
Yeah.
I mean, that might happen like before the bowl game. It's not going to happen before Thanksgiving.
Go look at your boy Hugh Freeze last year after Auburn was already behind. Like the last 2 games, he's like, okay,
yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'll be here, but I'm not really here.
Well, so you're saying that Liberty win for who were you? New Mexico State wasn't that good anymore, huh?
Well, no, it was very good. New Mexico State was so bad the year before. I don't give a shit who they're playing.
2 losses to end the season.
But I'll say this. So I'm flat on the number. Patty C's flat on the number, but I do lean. I trust Mike McIntyre. So since we can't just say 3, I will go with the over on Florida International.
So here's my thing here. I'm contemplating locking this because do you really see a 2-win season? They won 4 last year. So in his second year, do you see him only winning 2 after winning 4? I know looking at the schedule, it's kind of hard to pick and choose where those wins might be, but if you place a bet where the worst you can do is push, it's not a bad bet to place.
You're right. I mean, they could beat La Tech week 1 too.
Yeah,
they beat La Tech last year.
Mike McIntyre's coaching history.
They could beat Liberty at home.
Yeah.
San Jose State 1-12, 5-7, 10-2. Great improvement over 3 years. Colorado 4-8. 2-10 in his second year, so it is possible to drop 2 games for McIntyre from year 1 to 2, then back up to 4-9. Look, I'm going under. I think maybe he does drop.
Really?
Yeah, 10 games here.
Hater.
I like Mac, but I think it's there are some more dynamic coaches in the league now. Tyson Helton, dynamic offense.
I actually think Mac's a better coach than Helton. I think.
Sure.
Yeah,
but I think he has
coach of the year here.
Less talent to work with, and Helton's got a far more dynamic offense. Rich Rod, Jamie Chadwell. And talk about better be ready to scheme up all year long against conference.
Well, that's what I was actually going to make this point. I know we got to jump into the next team.
That's okay. We only spent a half hour on FIU.
Well, the good thing is about predicting
it's a 4-hour podcast.
Predicting a lot of these teams, then we already have the games predicted moving forward. So each team should get progressively shorter, you would think.
I'm just going to go ahead and say this. A lot of people say Conference USA coming in there might be worse than the MAC. I disagree. I think with these coaches, they're better than the MAC. I think you have Rich Rodriguez. You got Jerry Kill. I mean, these guys have excelled in the Power 5 levels before.
You got Jamie Chadwell.
Yeah, Mike McIntyre. What's his name at Stockstill, the NASCAR driver. You know what I mean? Like you got a lot of good coaching chops. As much as we love the MAC, I just don't think it's on the same level as the CUSA. So anyway, continuing forward to the next team. Before we get to the next team, though, I got to get us paid. I want to tell you that the College Football Experience Conference USA season preview episodes brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Patreon. Yes. Do your part in the war against corporate gambling and sign up for the SGP Patreon. There's a ton of exclusive content, contests, and merch for our patrons, plus a monthly SGP Stories podcast, an ad-free, uncensored show highlighting the best stories from decades of being a DJ. All right. Plus, you'll get. There's a Discord channel for our patrons. The Sports Gambling Podcast Patreon is a great way to score exclusive perks and support SGPN. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. Remember to let it ride. All right, we are back on the College Football Experience Conference USA season preview episode. And next we jump over to the team I was talking about before, Sam Houston State. KC Keeler. Great name, by the way. He's 85-27 at Sam Houston State. We're just gonna fade that. He's also 259 and 101 all time. Not 101 is like and one tie there in there. So 259 and 100. The guy's a fucking winner everywhere he's been. He was with the Blue Hens of Delaware, when he won a national championship at Delaware and Sam Houston State. And now he goes to the FBS. I'm telling you, this conference got coaches. They got coaches. So let's hop on over and look at the Bearcat schedule.
Who was the old A&M coach that had a similar name?
RC Slocum.
Oh, RC Slocum. That's it.
You're
drawing blanks.
You're terrible over there. The win total sitting at 4. 4. I mean, I kind of think they're going to be better than 4. They open up with
schedule's tough, man. It really is.
They open up at BYU as BYU jumps to the Big 12. Am I crazy for thinking that might be a game?
Dude, I don't know what to expect from Sam Houston. When's the last time I saw them play an FBS team?
True. So they played Texas A&M 2 years ago, right?
So
last season they actually played all right too.
Here's what I think we can agree upon. I think we can all agree that the top of the FCS is better than the bottom of the FBS. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, but BYU is certainly not the bottom of the FBS, and it's on the roads. I gotta go BYU.
I'm going BYU, but I actually think this game, as I was listening to the Big 12 experience, shout out to the Big 12 experience. I think they kind of made this game seem like it was going to be an easy cruise to victory. And I'm like, I don't know that I'm 100% on this being like a 31 point win. Yeah.
You were the one high on BYU saying they could win 9 games this year.
I am, but I also think Sam Houston's a good football team. So yeah, Texas A&M 31-0 over Sam Houston last year, week 1. And I'm telling you, it took for a while for them to get to 31. It was like 10-0 at halftime.
That's right. I recall that now.
Aside from that, I haven't done a super deep dive, but I'm back at 2017 right now, going year by year. And that A&M game's the only FBS game they've played. And now I'm at 2016. So there's a total lack of data to give us an idea of how good Sam Houston's going to be.
Well, I can tell you, I don't mind their chances week 2 because Troy Calhoun, who I just interviewed, I got a little bit of the Bud Foster treatment, I think, from Troy Calhoun. I don't think he was saying his team's going to be terrible, but he said, I've lost a ton of offensive production. And that just, if people think we're just going to be like last year, we won't, because we have a brand new quarterback, brand new running back, mentioned some key players on the defense he lost. And he mentioned the rule changes against triple option teams. I'm taking Air Force, but man, Sam Houston State could win this game too, guys.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking Air Force.
Yeah,
those are 2 and very hard games to start your FBS
Air Force's
tenure.
over/under is 8.5. So a lot of people in Vegas think Air Force is going to be doing what they've been doing for the last decade or so, and basically fielding very good football teams. And so, where's this at? I know it's at a neutral site, dude.
It's in Houston, Texas, though.
Okay.
And Hidden Hawaii says, I have Sam Houston maybe doing really well. Most FCS teams that have championship experience, such as App, JMU, and Liberty, and Georgia Southern, I'll add in there. They always do well in their first year.
That's a very fair point, and it seems like he really knows Sam Houston State, so he probably knows them better than we do, especially better than me and Patty. I mean, Colby follows FCS more than us, so I can't say I've watched Sam Houston since the 2020 season. I have to chalk this up as a loss, though. In general, I don't have a good feel for how Sam Houston's going to do. I'll be honest and say that up front.
This to me is a winnable game. This is a very winnable game to me. Now, I will take Air Force.
Well, we often see the service academies play close games against
everybody.
Against everybody. So of course, it's winnable. Sure.
They get a bye week and then they're at Houston. Love the beginning of the schedule. Patty, so you took Air Force, right?
Yeah. I think Air Force is going to smack them again. It's a rule of thumb. Texas versus the triple option. Texas schools usually get smashed. Can we? Let's talk about Sam Houston's number of games played. 16 in 2014, 15 in 2015, 13 in 2016, 14 the following year. It suggests that they go deep in the playoffs. Yeah. Generally speaking. So, once you get into the playoffs of the FCS, then you're playing real, basically low-level Power 5 competition, and they seem to keep going deep. So, yeah.
Not even low level Power 5. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So after the bye, they're at Houston. Man, this is a sneaky one. This is a sneaky one too, because
it's a fun game.
This is a great game. Great game. And Houston has Texas Tech on deck. So it's a little bit of a look ahead spot. I'm going to just go ahead and say this. Sam Houston State's going to win one of the first three.
I hope you're right. I'd love to see that.
Fun Houston versus Houston game here, but
love it.
I'm going Cougars.
You going Holgerson?
Yeah.
I got him going. I got to get 1 and 2. You got him 0-3, Nick, right?
I do. Yeah. Not that I'm high on Houston this year, but it's still at Houston. And you would think they'd have more talent. So yeah, I have 0-3.
Hidden Hawaiian saying Sion Latu was one of his buddies from Hawaii who played at Sam Houston. There we go. We got that in town.
I don't think we've had Hidden Hawaiian in the chats before, but I like the addition.
Yeah, and he was with us on the. We just did a quick Colorado to the Big 12 episode. He jumped in there. Appreciate you, Hidden Hawaiian. Please check us out, man. If this is the first time for you. Now Rich Rodriguez and Jacksonville State come to Bauer Stadium in Huntsville, Texas. This game's awesome as well. This is a Thursday night. This one, look. Conference USA said we're going all weekdays in October. I think this was the Sam Houston Jacksonville State saying, "Hey, what are we doing here? Let's throw another weekday game on that schedule." All right,
the fun game, man. It's fun.
Dude, this game's great. I got no idea who's winning this game. I think I lean Sam Houston. Give me a second win.
You know what? They're at home. It's about time they win one. There you go.
I agree. This is where the win comes on a Thursday nighter, but. I looked on Winsipedia. Neither of these teams being updated into the Winsipedia database yet, or on Sports Reference.
Everyone's slacking.
Everyone's slacking. Give these teams their credit. So I have no idea what their all-time record between these two schools is, but I'm leaning Sam Houston here.
So that would be your guys' first win. It's my second. Then they head Thursday night. The very next week, they head to Williams Stadium with the Flaming Libs of Liberty. This game's interesting because Chadwell. How long is it going to take him? This is a major change in philosophy.
Right. So, and it took Chadwell a while to get Coastal going. You know, if you look, the first year he went 3-9. Second year he went 5-7 at Coastal, and Liberty got raided in the portal. So you got a lot of new faces everywhere, a lot of new philosophy. But Thursday night at Liberty,
and they packed that stadium. I got to go. I got to go Liberty too.
100%. I mean, just got to figure Liberty has accumulated far more talent than Sam Houston by this point. Is that you think that's fair?
Yeah, they have NIL. So
yeah, that too.
Hidden Hawaiian says, "I will appreciate you guys subscribed. If you have social, I'll hit you up if you're interested in some analysis. I work with NIL and UCF. There we go, man. Hit us up, man.
Hello,
hit us up, man. At TCE on SGPN on Twitter. So hit us up, bro. Yeah, I have them losing at Liberty, and then they go to Aggie Memorial Stadium to take on Jerry Kill. This game's awesome.
It's a short week, only 6 days. You're going from a Thursday night game to a Wednesday night game, back-to-back road trips. A lot of tough travel there. I got New Mexico State winning.
I do too. So I have them at just 2 wins by October 11th. Patty C, what do you got here?
They're due for a win, but I'm going to hand them an L here.
Okay, and now they get the airport. Florida International coming to town on Wednesday, October 18th. This is a win.
I think I just gave it to FIU, if I remember correctly. They're going to win. So they have a 3-game home stretch here against FIU, UTEP, and Kennesaw.
They're going to win all 3. Kennesaw,
all 3?
Though, I love the fact that they're taking on Kennesaw, who's joining the CUSA next year.
I have them winning 1.
No, I think
you could easily talk me into 2, but
how about this?
They're better than Kennesaw, so that should be 1.
Yeah.
That's 1. Okay. You talked me into 2.
Yeah.
So for me, they're at 3 wins after this stretch. Sorry,
all are at home. All are at home.
I think they can beat Louisiana Tech on November 11th too. So I think that's 4 straight games. I think they can go 3-1 in that stretch, maybe even 4-0.
I have them dropping their last 3 and winning 3 games this season. I could be way off. I'll be the first one to admit I don't have that good of a feel for what Sam Houston's going to do.
Shout out to Noah Beanick. He says Jacksonville State, Sam Houston State, the home team has won 6 of the last 8 meetings. So that's why we do like Sam Houston to beat Jacksonville State.
Good job, Noah.
Noah behind the scenes doing great work for us.
Love it.
I do think that, a fourth win seems possible. I think if
Dude.
anything, you lean into the fact that the FCS powers have done pretty darn well.
They're going to beat Middle Tennessee at Bauer Stadium also. So after Louisiana Tech, they're at Western Kentucky, home to Middle Tennessee. When it's all said and done, guys, I have them winning more than 4 games. I am on the over with Sam Houston State. I think they're going to be solid this year. Nick?
Under.
Wow. Patty
do not feel good whatsoever.
It's funny because the front half of this schedule is much more difficult. Obviously, FIU is easy at the front. This is the complete opposite. I think on the back end of this schedule, they might even get Middle Tennessee at home at the end of the year. I lean over. I think 4.5 is where I feel for them.
Let's go. Give me that over. All right, now we talk about Rich Rod and Jacksonville State. Good old Jack State. Look, they're going to be fun. Zion Webb, who's like 75 years old, still the quarterback.
7th year. He's entering his 7th year of college. He started he started in 2017.
That's incredible. 2017, dude.
That's a long
fucking
time.
Unbelievable.
Who started sooner, Stetson Bennett or Zion Webb?
Yeah,
that's tough, man.
Probably played it against each other in high school. They got Malik Jackson back at the running back spot. Me and Patty C previewed Jacksonville State earlier this season. Go listen to that preview. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be pretty solid. Rich Rod also, like, I feel like once he really gets that offense rolling, I know it's a step up. So you wonder if it's this year or if it's going to be next year. But I think it could be this year. I think they play a week 0 game against UTEP. The win total's 5. I have them beating UTEP. I guess I have UTEP winless, huh?
You're hating on UTEP. I don't know why, because they've been solid in a lot tougher league for last. Because
Gary Patterson's their next coach, and I want that to happen. All right.
So out of all the week 0 games, this game is fucking with me the most. The Jacksonville State UTEP game.
What's that line?
It might be a pick 'em now.
Yeah.
It's been floating around 1 or 2 points. I kind of want to take UTEP, but what is the environment going to be like in Jacksonville? I mean, do they show out?
Yes, they do. And they're going to be showing out for that one too.
For the first ever FBS game.
Yeah, Jacksonville State's winning this.
I'm leaning Jacksonville State.
Look, is UTEP the weirdest team in college football? They beat Boise last year. They lost at UTSA by 3. And then at the same time, they lost to Rice.
Rice is not bad though. NC Nick, those are boys.
They got crushed by New Mexico, who was 2-10. They lost by 17. If you're losing to New Mexico and then beating Boise the following week, fuck me.
They got Boise at a very good point where they wanted to fire the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And I think they did right after that game.
And they fired their quarterback. They're like, Bachmeier, you go with them. All right, fuck out of here. Go to the CUSA. No,
where you belong.
That 9 UTEP Jacksonville State is at a pick, and so I got them 2-0, guys. I got them. They got East Tennessee State week 2.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
2-0, all of us. Right there. The win total's 5. Then they had this game is awesome. This is one of my low key favorite games.
Dude, you got a game clock. A Gamecock versus a Chanticleer. I think are those the same thing?
I think so. It's the cock
chickens.
battle.
Yeah.
All into it. We got the cock bull.
That's right. Pull the cocks out and let's have a battle.
They're gonna lose, right? But I think they could win. They could be 3-0, man. Gardner Webb almost beat Coastal on that teal turf last year. I think it's a game. So
we're talking about Rich Rodriguez.
3-0. Let's go. 3-0.
No.
Yeah.
Coastal wins this.
Shout out to Jay.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jay Scott, who says talking CUSA feels like you're talking FCS still. Yeah,
that's pretty
very true. Very true.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think maybe pump the brakes. 2-1 here, Jacksonville State.
CFB Big 12 says I'm high on Jack State. Lots of experience. No, upset special 3-0. Talk to me, NC Nick.
Well, I mean, to his point, they returned 9 on offense and 7 on defense.
Yeah, and I'm not a Tim Beck guy, so 3-0, baby, 3-0 for Jacksonville State. They get a bye week, and then Chris Creighton and the Eastern Michigan Eagles, who I love. who I love, come to town. I say 4-0, even though Chris Creighton. This is the fact you get the bye week's huge.
Eastern Michigan has UMass the week before. That's a bye. They both have a bye the week before.
I agree with Colby. I think it's tough for these northern teams to come down to the dirty South in September when it's still very hot and very humid. Give me Jacksonville State.
You got them 3-1. I got them 4-0. Patty C.
I'd say they go 1-1 in this next two games. So I don't know if they beat Eastern Michigan or take the L, but 1-1. So I'll give them the win here. 3-1.
3-1. Then that Thursday night game against Sam Houston State, which I have Sam Houston State winning. So I had 4-1.
Same here.
Nick, you got them 3-2 then, right?
Yes.
3-2.
Same.
And you have them at 3-2.
So
and
Noah in the chat says Eastern Michigan won at Arizona State last September. I also think they lost at Louisiana Lafayette, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
got whipped by a very average Louisiana Lafayette team. Also, just saying.
True, very true. But now look, back-to-back away on a short week. They had the Johnny Red Floyd Stadium take on Rick Stockstill company. All right, the NASCAR driver. I got Jacksonville State winning this, bouncing back and winning this.
I think you're just giving them all these games here. I mean, no, I don't think so.
Well, again, I think Middle Tennessee is due for a regression, and I'm like hitting Hawaii. I think Rich Rod underrated. All right, he would have won the ASUN last year. Patty
I don't know.
C,
it seems like you're giving them every 50-50 game.
No, I have them right now beating there's only 250.
Yeah, I'm at 5-1 right now.
Yeah, and the 50-50 games are Coastal and Sam Houston.
Come
and
on,
I got 1-1 in those.
Tennessee's not 50-50. I'm not buying it.
I've been to Johnny Red Floyd Stadium. I'm the only one here that's been to Johnny Red Floyd Stadium. All right, so yeah, I know it's
probably
not as
got
daunting.
your ass kicked when you were down there. That's
it's not as daunting as its title. All right, Patty C, what are you doing here?
I think you're overestimating Jacksonville. I mean, I think the Tulsa game is really scaring me. You know,
that was week 3 of a brand new system.
I know that they beat Florida State. I'm trying to look up Jacksonville State's previous record against, because I don't even really know much about their conference. The fact that they dominated whatever conference they were in the FCS for the last however many years, and they've been a blue blood essentially.
Yeah.
But is it just because they are the dominant program there? When they play FBS, do they get routinely worked? Obviously not. They beat Florida State. I think this is a close game. I'm giving it to Middle Tennessee.
Patty, see, the same year they beat Florida State, they also lost to UAB 31-0. Just to throw that out there, So right now, I have them winning their 3 home games and losing their 3 road games. They're 3-3 at the halfway point.
5-1. 5-1 at the halfway point.
These guys are going to the college football playoffs.
now the Flaming Libs of Liberty come in, and Jamie Chadwell, and this is where I got Jamie Chadwell. It's going to start to click in October. I got the Libs coming in and beating Jacksonville State. Patty C, what do you got going on here?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Nick,
I'm with you. I think this is a winnable game because I'm not sold on how good Liberty is going to be this year. I know. I mean, their over/under is ridiculous. It's at like 9 or something because their out of conference schedule is the easiest I've ever seen in my life. But I don't know how good this Liberty team is going to be. But I have to go their way here, I suppose.
You can go your own way, buddy.
Fleetwood Mac.
I got them. I got two losses now. Now the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers come to town. This is going to be fun. This is fireworks because I can totally see Rich Rod putting up a lot of points, but Western Kentucky bring back Austin Reed. He went to the portal, bounced back. This offense, high powered. Oh man, I guess I'll go Hilltoppers. I guess I'll go Hilltoppers here. I think this is a crazy game though. This is one where it could be going all around. But give me the Hilltoppers, 2 straight losses.
Give me the Hilltoppers all day. This is a team that's won 8 games in back-to-back seasons. They were right up there with all those other teams that left the Conference USA. So I think head and shoulders right now, Western Kentucky is above any other team in this conference. Give me the Hilltoppers.
Western Kentucky coming off a bye as well, so 12 days to prepare for this Tuesday nighter. But it is in Jacksonville. Look, I do think that maybe Jacksonville State is due for another win here. I'm just going to give it to them in this game. I don't know which one it's going to come from, but 4-4 at the half or through 8 games for Jacksonville State for me.
Then they're at the airport, Florida International. Boom. That's my 6th win. And I am on the over with Jacksonville State. So far, 3 overs for me on the basement of the CUSA.
I think I just took FIU here, so I think I have to chalk it up as a loss.
And then they head to Williams-Brice Stadium to take on the Gamecocks. I love this game. All right. Yeah. Jay Scott goes, every time you say Flaming Libs, that's part of the fun. That's why they really got to start the Flaming Lib.
I mean, if you say AOC, I'm thinking Alex O'Connell, the guy that transferred from Duke to Creighton, the shooting guard,
the college experience.
Yeah. Guys, I'm on the over. So that game is awesome. Is that great? November 4th, Beamer Rodriguez on the schedule again. Remember Virginia Tech, and
so
West Virginia,
heaters.
Big
Fun.
East ones.
That's fun, dude. They could steal that game. So when it comes down to it, I have Jacksonville State winning 5, right at the number. But I'm gonna have to go over because there's a couple games there where I lean the other team. I think I'm higher on the Gamecocks than I am the Bearcats. Give me the over. Maybe they hit 6. Maybe they go bowling in the first year in the FBS, which would have to be deemed a success.
And they get 2 bye weeks, so we should mention that. That's always huge because they're
going to get stomped by South Carolina in all likelihood. But you're right. If Beamer is likely to win and pull an upset that he shouldn't, he's also likely to take an L that he shouldn't. So maybe Jacksonville State gets him.
And then home to La Tech and at New Mexico State. I'm on the over. I feel pretty good about it. I think you might even hear it on a Locks pod in August.
Oh, wow. Somebody is high on the Gamecocks. And I'm not talking South Carolina.
I think Noah's asking, are they allowed to go bowling? I believe no. I believe this year, year 1, you're not.
Bullshit.
Stupid NCAA, all that nonsense. You going over or under, Patty?
I'm leaning over.
Yeah, Rich Rod. Yeah. Got to go with it. All right, let's jump on over to the next school. As far as win total, the UTEP Miners. I mean, look, guys, I had them going on 12. So, I mean, no, I'm joking. But this is the best stadium in college football. In my opinion, the college football playoffs should be played. One of their games should be here every year. Stadium is fantastic. Dude, this schedule is, well, luckily for them, the Northwestern fiasco is happening. They might score a big win and collect a paycheck.
Real quick. Last 5 years under
Dana Dimmel,
1-11, 1-11, 3-5, 7-6, 5-7, a slight step back. But overall, the trajectory of the program, what are you thinking?
I think he's fired this year.
You think it's over?
I think it's fair to say that the last 2 years, the Conference USA was a lot tougher. So
yeah, that's fair.
If anything, maybe they get a couple more wins. I mean, Gavin Hardison, the quarterback, has been there for like 6 years, 7 years now. He's almost on the Zion Webb plan. So they have a lot of pieces coming back. They also, our guy Phil Steele ranked the UTEP offensive line best in Conference USA.
Woo, by the way, Phil Steele will be on the show this upcoming week, so check us out.
By the way, they were 0-12 the year before he got there. I say Dana Dimmel's got him moving in the right
like
direction.
Dana Dimmel too. I'm giving him a hard time, but
I love the fact that the receiver Tyron Smith. You guys up to date here?
Didn't he hit the portal and then he came back, right?
He hit the portal, went to Texas A&M, played spring ball at A&M, was like, you know what? Let me go back to Conference USA. But the guy's a baller. Right? Yeah, he's been a really good.
Maybe Bobby Petrino tried to fuck his girlfriend, and he was like, you know what? I'm out of here. It's probably what really happened. You think he walked into all this talent and he was like 7th on the depth chart? I think he was probably 1st on the depth chart, but he caught Petrino playing a game of grab ass with his girl.
Asking his girl if she wants to go on a motorcycle ride.
That's right.
Hey baby, I got a Harley in the parking lot.
Yeah, I'm starting to buy into some of this UTEP stuff because look at the schedule. They lose week 0 because it's Jacksonville State's opener, and they're going to burn that town down when they win. Right after that, they get Incarnate Word. Now, Incarnate Word's been a very good FCS school, but they lost their head coach, and I know Zach Calzada, who once beat Alabama at Texas A&M. He's the new quarterback at Incarnate Word, but they're bringing in a shit ton of transfers. I think it's like Dion level of transfers in the FCS. And that's week 1 for them. So you get the week 0 advantage of playing. So I do think UTEP beats Incarnate Word, even though Incarnate Word was a very, very good FCS a year ago, almost beat North Dakota State in the playoffs. But so I got them 1-1. How about you guys through the first 2? Patty?
Agreed.
I guess I'm going to give them that incarnate word. I'm going to take your word that they're going to take a step back.
Well, now it gets interesting because they play at Northwestern. Northwestern lost to Southern Illinois last year. They also lost to Miami, Ohio, I believe. Guys, with Northwestern, and by the way, Northwestern's the biggest pieces of shit. How about I don't have a problem with the players not showing up for media day, but I do have a problem with their athletic director not showing up and sending the interim head coach who's been there like 3 months out there. Every other coach that spoke had the athletic director there. Talk about throwing this dude out to the wolves, man. The more stuff that comes out of Northwestern, the more I hate that institution.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, I think not having the players there was a good call because the players shouldn't have to.
I agree. I agree. I completely agree. But man, I thought they did that new coach dirty. If I'm him, I'd fucking probably already dip out.
You're talking me into a win in Evanston here.
Let's go. I'm in.
Let's do it. All right. I like it.
Fuck Northwestern. Let's go.
What's Northwestern's history of losing to FCS? Do they have?
They lost last year to Southern Illinois and Miami, Ohio. So, but UTEP's not an FCS.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Almost an FCS. But look.
Well, what would UTEP do in the MAC? I think UTEP and Miami of Ohio would probably play a pretty good game.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think Miami of Ohio might be a little bit better.
Dude, Northwestern's going to have all these players transferred. There's already some that hit the portal.
Yeah.
There's no way this team's intact. Give me the Miners.
No, they're 2-1 out the gate for UTEP.
2-1.
All right, I'm in.
Now they head to now they head to Arizona Stadium to take on Jaden DeLaura. This will be a loss.
Yeah.
It's 2-2.
Yeah.
All right. Now they're home to UNLV and Barry Odom, brand new head coach. Remember, Bobby Petrino was the OC for 2 weeks.
Bobby Petrino's getting a lot of play on this episode. That has nothing to do with A&M.
Dude, this is an interesting game to me because Marcus Arroyo, I kind of thought he should have got another year because he was recruiting decently at UNLV. So Odom does walk into a interesting scenario. They bring in the Howard offensive coordinator. I think this is a 50-50 game. And since I just hung out and I just went to Mountain West Media Day and I got a chance to interview Barry Odom and then their starting quarterback Doug Brumfield. Brumfield's cool. I like him.
Good man.
I like him. He doesn't give a shit about the money. He wants to be in EA Sports. Doesn't care about that money. That $500. She's like, you can keep that $500. I want to be in the video game. All right. UNLV gets the win at the Sun Bowl. Mountain West flexes their muscle. NC Nick, what are you doing here?
I'm going to cop out and say they go 1-1 on this 2-game homestand against UNLV and La Tech. So
I'll join you there. I'll join you there. Yeah.
So either way, they win one there, which is they're 3-3 here, right?
3-3. Patty C, you joining us on this?
Look, UTEP lost year last to New Mexico, and their only common opponent against that UNLV had. UNLV beat New Mexico by 11. Both teams 5-7 last year. That said, I feel like I want to lean UTEP here just because it's a new coach in Las Vegas. So I'm going W here. So
what about the next week with La Tech coming?
I feel like
Bachmeyer took an L last year at the Sun Bowl to UTEP. He'll take another. Send him to another team.
I'll cop out with you guys. 1-1 there. 1-1.
He'll quit the team and jump to another tem. All right. We got another bye week and so they have 2 bye weeks. the week 0 scheduling smart. Now they're at the airport, Florida International, Ricardo Silva Stadium. I gave this one to FIU, so I have them 3-4.
Yeah, I guess I did also.
Yep. Okay. Then they're home to New Mexico State. This game's awesome. Love the fact this rivalry game. I'm telling you, this is a great rivalry game. Love the fact it's on a weeknight. We're going to capitalize on this battle of I-40. New Mexico State knocks off UTEP on the road. Jerry Kill, baby.
3-5.
Disagree. I think UTEP at home on a Wednesday night wins this in the Sun Bowl.
7-point game a year ago, early on in Jerry Kill's tenure.
I'm 4-4.
Okay. I am 3-5. 3-5. They're at Sam Houston. I got them losing this. 3-6. Patty,
I got a 1-1 in that stretch. So give me 4-5.
Okay. Now they're home to Western Kentucky.
They're gonna win one of those games.
I could see this one happening. I could see this is a far ass trip, man. El Paso's basically in in New Mexico.
Or Mexico, like I said when we started this.
Western Kentucky's way better. Western Kentucky will whoop them.
You got Western Kentucky in the national championship.
They've been pretty damn good lately. Just because you hate the Helton brothers, don't fade them. You know, you're wearing your hate on your sleeve.
Oh, please. Look, it's going to be cold as shit on November 4th in the desert in El Paso. Probably remember some snow. You get some bowl games there in the snow at the Sun Bowl. Give me a upset special by UTEP.
Wow.
And then I think they also get one more between the last two at Middle Tennessee and home versus Liberty. I got UTEP 6-6. I got them squeaking out the over and going to another bowl game.
I got them 5-7. Best case scenario, I think 5-7, maybe 6-6. But I think realistically 4-8, 5-7 is where I have them going. I think Gary Patterson is the next head coach of the UTEP Miners.
So I think in general we can say Colby is higher on the new teams to the Conference USA rather than the old teams.
Yes, because their fans are super excited, and I think they'll have legit home field advantages because of that.
That's fair. Well, you were just the one telling me that UTEP is the 26th biggest city in the country.
I know, but Dana Demmel has lulled them to sleep. You know, like
Dimmel's done a decent job.
12-12
from what he inherited.
Years. Is that excitement? 12-12
at UTEP
compared to winless.
Yeah.
Look, they need to get. They should have been the one going out trying to get a rich rod or something like that because they need to get some excitement in El Paso. All right,
it's a hard thing to do.
I know the guy. Hey, UTEP, give me a call. 1-800-PICK-DUNDEE. Folks, before we get to the next team,
I'm on the under.
You're on the under. Yeah, there we go. I want to tell you guys at the Conference USA college football season preview on the College Football Experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, the NFL season is right around the corner, and Underdog Pick'em is a great way to get down on NFL player props. It is available in a ton of different markets. Plus, plenty of opportunities to win with their daily MLB contest. And of course, make sure you enter the Best Ball Mania where they're giving away $3 million to first place. Head on over to UnderdogFantasy.com. Use that promo code SGPN for 100% deposit bonus up to $100. Once again, that's UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. All right. We're only like an hour into this thing.
Have we locked up anything yet? Have we given our listeners any locks?
I will right here.
I said I was close with FIU, but I
I'm going to give one right here as well.
I'm going to give you one right here.
All right. What we got?
We got the New Mexico State Aggies.
We just did this preview. So,
and me and Patty C just did this preview that will be out in the next couple days.
The number's 5.5.
First off, they play 13 games.
Yeah.
They play at Hawaii, which means that the NCAA's, thing where they can have an extra game. This is a lock.
This is the best lock of the entire season for all 100.
You guys are that confident in this team.
They bring in a 4-star quarterback from Texas A&M, and I thought if you watched last year, the defense was a top 30 defense in the nation. And they bring in a 4-star quarterback where I thought that was a huge thing missing. I know Diego Pavia still might end up starting some because he's a gamer, but look, last year's schedule they had Wisconsin. Who was it? Wisconsin, Missouri, and Minnesota all on the schedule. Like this,
all on the road.
This year they have one Power 5.
Tell me the good offense on that schedule last year.
Liberty.
Not on Saturday, November 26th, when they all quit, like you just said.
Quit, but also maybe they ran into this great top 30 defense.
Well, I mean, the top 30 defense is going to look pretty good when you play Valpo, Lamar, UMass, New Mexico, FIU, Hawaii, Nevada. Jeez, there was a fucking lot of bad teams they played last year.
And guess what? I hate to tell you this. The schedule this year: UMass, Western Illinois, New Mexico, Hawaii.
Well, to Nick's point,
so I don't know what you're thinking. They're all on this year's.
They're going to start off 2-0. I mean, that's a good start.
No, they're going to be 12-0. No,
their defensive performances against Power 5 last year. They gave up 38 against Minnesota. They gave up 66 against Wisconsin, and they gave up 45 against Minnesota. So I still think that's
Missouri.
Missouri. Yeah. That's respectable on average, except the 66-point outing.
Well, you got to understand that it was his first fucking year too. I buy into Jerry. We went through Jerry Kill's second years of his whole career.
About the 3-game road trip in a row, but Liberty, New Mexico, and then Hawaii to end a 3-game road stretch.
No,
that's fucking tough.
No,
man.
No, well, one of them is not really a road game because it's Albuquerque. It's like an hour away or 2 hours.
Road
away
at your rival is a road game.
Here's what's going to happen, guys. Week 0 on nationally televised ESPN. They got great coverage, Patty C. All right, and look, they got the primetime game on week 0. ESPN. There's no way Don Brown thinks he's going to walk into there to Aggie Memorial Stadium and not get a fucking, just a beat down. You're gonna be going home, hating the green chili, right? I gotta want to know,
guys. I don't mean to jump ahead, but so not only do they have a 3-game road stretch, but then they have 2 more back-to-back road trips.
Yes, but don't worry, some of them are very easy, buddy. All right,
are they?
Look, yes, UTEP is 45 minutes away. All right. And that was a 7-point game a year ago. They're a better team and they're better coached.
Proximity doesn't make it easy.
Buddy, look, okay, the Western Kentucky Auburn one, that's the one I have them losing both. That's fine. Put them both there. The other ones, everything else is genius. I love the
fact
if
they lose all 7 of those?
They're not going to lose all 7 of those. I can guarantee that.
What's their record? What's their record in their road games this
year?
I
honestly think they could win 9 or 10 games this year. I really do. Let me build my point. I actually think this schedule. I think this schedule's genius because they play 13 games and you're getting that on 5.5, right? So they get Jamie Chadwell in his 2nd game at Liberty. They beat Liberty last year, so I think the players are going to be they're going to be confident that they can, and I think Chadwell is not going to be up to par by week 2. So I think they go to Williams Stadium and win.
They're 4-1 against teams they played last year. They went 4-1 against, I should say, teams they're going to play this year. Last year.
Yeah, and then so Western Illinois is terrible. They didn't win a game in the FCS. So I think UMass, Western Illinois, and Liberty is all. I think they're going to win. I actually think on the pod I called for Liberty to win that, but
I had them losing at Liberty. I have them 2-1.
I still think it's a very winnable game considering it's the 2nd game for Jamie Chadwell, right? So I have them 2-1. Then I have them beating New Mexico because I actually just think they're a better fucking team than New Mexico, right? Rocky Long is gone.
They are. New Mexico was 2-10 last year.
They beat them by double digits last year. I think they beat New Mexico and Albuquerque 3-1, and then they go to Hawaii, and I think they're just the more physical team, and I don't think Hawaii's there yet. Hawaii could win that game because Hawaii did great strides as the season went along. Like Timmy Chang really impressed me in his first year as a coach, considering he went 3-10.
I have them dropping one of those 2 games between at New Mexico at Hawaii.
I'm with you, Nick. 3-2.
So they win 1, and so for me it's 2-3. No. I'm sorry. No. You're right, Patty. 3-2.
I got them 4-1. All right, and they get a bye, and then I think they beat Florida International. They lost to FIU last year, and it was in Las Cruces. But I think that's why they get them this year. So I got them 5-1. And look, I think I even gave them a loss here, Patty C, right? To either Sam Houston or UTEP. I said they'll go 1-1 in that stretch. So I have them 6-2 after that. And
I'll have them winning 1-1. I'm going 1-1 out the 2 games at home.
So what would that give you then? How many wins?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and I have them. I just think this is a lock. This is a lock because of 13 games. Because I think they can beat. I think they're capable. Honestly, I actually think they'll be favorites in every game except Liberty, Western Kentucky, and Auburn, perhaps. I think they probably go 8-5.
I'm gonna lean the over with you because of the 13th game, but I certainly don't love it. I think
I'm locking this,
dude. I'll say this one more time in case people are just tuning in. Yeah, you mentioned that they went 6-1 in their last 7.
Yeah,
that was wins over Lamar, Valpo, UMass, New Mexico. They played 2 FCS teams last year, 2 bad FCS teams.
Do you understand how that happened? Also,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how it happened. Okay. I'm just saying what they have. What the schedule was.
Western Illinois is a bad FCS team this year.
Yeah, and UMass is basically an FCS team.
Yeah.
We could also talk about the scores in those games. Lamar 51-14. Liberty 49-14, Valpo 65-3. They're whooping the tar out of these teams.
I want to say 6 out of those 7 wins on the back end. Mostly all of them were double digits.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of them were.
Yeah,
no, except for Bowling Green in the bowl.
Yeah, except for Bowling Green on the bowl. Let's go. I'm locking this thing up.
I'm locking it too.
And they have brought it, and Hidden Hawaiian's right, because they brought in some really big time transfers. They got a linebacker from Penn State coming in. They're running back from TCU, the 4-star quarterback from Texas A&M, Arizona defensive lineman. So I'm telling you, this is happening.
It would take a lot for them to even go 6-6, and that would still be the over. It would take a lot of bad luck for them to go 6-6. I'm 8-5.
Yeah, lock it up.
Yeah,
lock it up. Let's go. And so
I am. By the way, for the record, I am not on a lock for this.
You're crazy. You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. They had 13 games. It's not happening. All right, let's jump on over to the next one with 5.5. The win total for Louisiana Tech and Sonny Cumbie and Hank Bachmeier. Now they brought in a bunch of Dakotas Crawford is there now too.
Nice.
But they brought in a shit ton of transfers too. I actually think they were a hard team for me to gauge because I thought on the field last year they looked terrible, but at the same time they did bring in some nice transfers. Week 1 they play FIU. We gave that to La Tech just because it being in Ruston. So 1-0. Then they head to Gerald Ford Stadium to take on SMU. That's a loss, right? We got them losing that one.
Mm-hmm.
Nick?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 1-1. They're home to Northwestern State. The Demons. That's a win. 2-1 for me, Patty C.
Yep.
Then they're home to North Texas. I have North Texas winning that one, so I have them 2-2.
North Texas was what 7 and
they went to the CUSA championship
7-7 last
and then
year.
they thought they were so good that they had to leave
That's
and fire their coach at the same time. Something magical there. But
2-2 it is.
Yeah, 2-2, and then they head to Nebraska. The Troy Edwards game. I got them losing that one, so 2-3. Are we all on board?
Yeah, we are.
Nick. Then we just said they would lose to UTEP in the Sun Bowl for second Bachmeier loss in 12 months. So 2-4. They got to get to 5.5. Then they're home to Western Kentucky, loss.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
2-5. Then they're at Johnny Red Floyd Stadium. This is a hard game for me to understand, but I think I'm going to go Middle Tennessee here. So 2-6 for me.
Yeah, it's 5 days from their last game. 2-6.
2-6. They get a bye week before New Mexico State.
I think I gave them the win here, so I'm 3-6.
I'll give them a win at some point during this run here. 3-6.
Yeah, and then they're at Liberty, home to Sam Houston.
I haven't beating one of those new guys, so I have winning 4, maybe 5 games, definitely under.
I'm on the under too.
Yeah, I'll lock the under here. This team has, they've the last few years, since Skip Holtz had it going 9-5, 9-4, 9-5, 7-6, 8-5, 10-3, 5-5 gets fired, or no 3-9 the following year gets fired.
But those 9 losses, all by like a Hail Mary. SMU at Hail Mary. Mississippi State blocked a field goal as they should have beat Mississippi State.
All the winning he did there should have bought him at least one losing season.
Yeah.
It didn't. Sonny Cumbie comes in 3-9. I don't think they're getting to 6 wins in year 2.
Yeah, they're not going to double their output. So you know what, Patty C? I've been itching to lock something. Let me join you. Let me lock up that under.
Let's lock it.
Woo! I might be. You might be able
a little
to talk me into
sissy
that.
boy. Let's go.
I'll think about it. Let me go through, because next up we have the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders.
Can we get some lock music here? I mean,
we don't have lock music because I got sued.
Oh,
all right. So the lock music is gone. All right. Oh no, I have you mean the Evander song?
That's not the lock music. That's the lock battle music.
Yeah.
We don't have
true.
lock music.
Yeah.
We got to get on it.
So next up, we got Middle Tennessee State. They used to call them. Now they're just Middle Tennessee. The Blue Raiders.
It's almost not fair when you see some of the out of conference slates of some of these teams, and then you see Middle Tennessee's.
Yeah, Middle Tennessee. Wow. The newcomers to the SEC at Alabama and at Missouri to start their season.
Well, that's 2 losses.
Yes, and then Murray State, the Racers, they do suck in the FCS, so that's a win. So 1-2, right? I think you all join me here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I expect Jay Norvell and Colorado State to be pretty good this year. I think they're actually going to be a bowl team and pretty good.
This is the tough one. This is
This
really
is not tough. Colorado State sucked. I don't know why you guys are expecting a huge improvement.
All of his first years, Norvell sucked. Okay. Second years where he makes the big jump, and also he went and got like a shit ton of North Dakota State transfers.
I listened to you guys all last offseason tell me they were going bowling. Yeah, for as much credit as Colby takes,
and you
for
also calling
New Mexico State going bowling. Let's give him a hard time about Colorado State not going bowling.
Or Nick.
Both of you mother.
I didn't lock up Colorado State.
Okay,
Nick,
Patty C, are you new to the game here? All right, you tout your wins and you're very quiet on your losses.
Well, okay. Nick, actually, wait. He also locked up Nevada. And Colorado State beat Nevada.
That's
by
true.
3. It's not like that was an ass kicking.
Ugly game.
Okay.
I think Colorado State wins. I got Middle Tennessee 1-3.
The only reason I do that, like I would stay lockstep with the guys and hype our stuff, but Colby's been shitting on me for like 3 episodes straight.
I will
about
shit on you
Nevada
every episode. That is a college experience episode. All right. 1-3.
Man, this is tough, but you know what? I'm gonna go Mountain West over Conference USA 1-3.
Dude, I feel good about it. Without Chase Cunningham and stuff,
I feel
very
good.
I feel very good about it.
Middle Tennessee is going to win that game.
Oh, we got a wager already. Let's go. Then shout out to the CUSA for making this a weekday game because this is 100 miles of hate. Middle Tennessee at Western Kentucky. I love CUSA leaning into their rivalry games, putting the Battle of I-40 on national television, putting the 100 miles of hate on national television. Let's go.
Now they just need to put it at the end of the season like it's meant to be.
Yes, true. They need to put it in November, but I got them 1-5 or 1-4. 1-4. I'm sorry.
This series all time, by the way, 35-36. I guess it's in Western Kentucky's favor. Middle Tennessee does not even the score. Western Kentucky takes a 2-game lead in this series.
I got them. Yeah. So Nick, what are you doing here?
Agreed. 1-4.
Now they head down to Jacksonville. Or I'm sorry, they host Jacksonville State. I took Jacksonville State, I think. So I have them 1-5. Stockstill. The wheels are coming off a little bit.
That's not going to happen, man. That's not going to happen. The Blue Raiders are a solid freaking program here. I think they win these 2 home games in a row and get back to a level of respectability. What's that, 3-4?
Amen. Thank you. And I did give them the game against Jacksonville State, even though I'm a rich ride guy. That puts them at 3-3 for me. And then the following week against Louisiana Tech, they're 4-3.
I got them beating La Tech, and that gets their 2nd win. And this is called a winning streak coming soon because I got them upsetting the Flamin' Libs in Lynchburg on Tuesday, October 17th.
I'll have them winning one of these 2 road trips at Liberty at New Mexico State. So with what's that, 9 games, I have them at 4-5. Is that right?
I have them at 3 wins. I have them at 3 wins right now.
3. I'm at 4-5.
I have them losing to Liberty. So Nick and I have them at 4-5. Colby's got them at 3-6.
Yeah, and then they head to New Mexico State. I think they lose at New Mexico State.
It's got to be 3-5.
Yeah, 3-5.
3-5.
Yeah.
So I was 4-5 after these 2 road trips. They're gonna win one of them.
Okay.
Then I have them losing in Las Cruces. I have them beating the Airport and beating UTEP before losing. I'm on the under with Middle Tennessee guys.
The number is
6.5.
6.5. I'm on the over. I think they get there.
This is tough. Originally, I was thinking over. I'm gonna actually switch and side with Colby. I think they go 6-6. I think it's either 6-6 or 7-5. It really is. Like I don't see them winning more than 7. But the schedule is just tough enough, especially with the out-of-conference schedule. It comes down to that damn Colorado State game. That's what it comes down to. If they can win at home against the Mountain West, Colorado State, they go over. If they lose, they go under. I just told you I think Colorado State pulls it out. So give me the under.
Noah brings up a good point. Program trajectory. We forgot to mention on all these.
It's all good. And how about this for a program trajectory? 6-6 2 years ago for Middle Tennessee, 7-5 last year in the regular season for Middle Tennessee. That suggests it's going upwards. So fuck you, and I'm taking the over.
Here's
what are we saying? Program trajectory.
I think Colby just made up the word.
No, I was reading that.
I think Noah just made up the word projector.
Hey, this is what happens when you have a Saturday night podcast, all right?
Yeah. Look.
He's got a few drinks in him too. Let's be honest.
Look. Here's what's really going to happen here. Stockstill has the advantage of playing those teams before and knowing them. he doesn't know these teams, and I think that is the problem, and that is why the under hits. I actually don't think they're going to get 7.
Well,
I feel pretty good.
Well, that same thing is that they don't know him either.
I know, but I think these FCS teams are pretty fucking good. Yeah. So I think they're shit. I kind of think they're more talented for this year than Middle Tennessee. So I'm on the under.
Stockstill's a quarterback whisperer.
He played QB for Bowden back in the day. All right, let's get over to. Damn, we still have all these teams. No, we have just 2 teams left. We have the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, who don't have the highest win total in the CUSA. Patty C, all this talk about the Hilltoppers being gods, and the Flamin' Libs have the number 1 win total. Let's talk about these Hilltoppers, because 8.5 wins. They don't have a week 0 matchup. They have a week 1 matchup with Alex Galesh and USF. Dangerous. I'll give it to Western.
Dude, USF was what, 1-11 last year? I think you have to give this.
Okay, I'll give it to him.
But you're talking about the guy who led the number 1 offense in the country last year. This is the most turnkey offense in the country, possibly. I expect USF to be one of the surprise teams in college football this year.
There we go.
They're not going to get it going this soon against a good Western Kentucky team.
If you look at Western Kentucky, they've had 8 regular season wins in 3 of the last 4 seasons. They haven't reached 9 yet. So, like off the top of your head, maybe you say, they can't quite get to double digits or close. But I'm pretty high on this Western Kentucky team because they were competing at a high level last couple of years in a much tougher CUSA. I do have them winning at home against South Florida.
I have them winning too, and I also have them beating Houston Christian, who is a terrible FCS in week 2.
Yes.
Yep. Week 3, they head to Ohio Stadium to take on the Buckeyes. That's a loss. 2-1.
Yep.
Back-to-back away. What a great spot for Troy to catch Western Kentucky, because after Ohio State, Troy beats Western Kentucky. I got them 2-2.
I think so. You know what? Let me make one more point about their conference losses. Western Kentucky last year, they lost to UTSA and North Texas. Those were the only 2 conference losses. The year before that, their two conference losses were both to UTSA, one in the championship game. So they're undefeated against all the rest of the remaining teams in the Conference USA. I just wanted to point that out.
Well, they're home 100 miles of hate to Middle Tennessee. We gave this one to Western Kentucky, so we have them 3-2. Then they head to Joe Willett Stadium, take on La Tech 4-2. We gave that one. They get a bye week. They're at Jacksonville State. I didn't call for this to be an upset, did I? I don't think I did.
I'm doing a hedge here, 1-1 in the next 2 weeks at Jacksonville State and then hosting Liberty.
I'll join you. I'll join you. They lose one other one.
I got to win them both.
Yeah, they head to UTEP.
So what is that? 6-2 for you, Nick?
Yeah, they had. No, it's Liberty at home first.
Wait,
no, at Jacksonville State, home to Liberty.
Yes,
is what he's talking about for the two games.
Yeah.
Then they're at UTEP, then home to New Mexico State.
Win-win.
I think they're probably going to win out, to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
I have them with 3 losses.
9-3.
I'm gonna lock this up because look, I had them losing at Ohio State, at Troy. They can afford 1 loss in the Conference USA. They're not losing 2 games in the Conference USA. Western Kentucky is head and shoulders above everybody else in this league. So I think they win 9, if not 10 this year.
Weren't you the dude that 3 minutes ago just made the point that they haven't won 9 regular season games since 2016?
Well, hey man, that's a true statement. I did make that point.
Times change.
Of course.
You're saying they're ready for the next step?
They are.
All right.
All right. Look, guys, we're running a late ass episode here. Let's finish this off with the.
By the way, one more thing. I'm gonna lock up Western Kentucky on the over.
Wow.
Oh.
See what happens if South Florida wins week 1? He's gonna be real.
Then I'm nervous, but I don't see that happening.
I kind of like it. I like your play. I don't have the balls to do it just yet, but I might do it later.
By the way, I'm gonna lock up the under on Middle Tennessee.
Ooh. Wow.
I meant to do that at the time because on the
Rick Stockstill.
I think, and I know our friend in the chat was just mentioning the fact that Middle Tennessee played JMU. They lost 44-7 last year. The top end of the FCS. Gonna shout out to Hidden Hawaiian. Gonna get the best of them, I think.
They also beat Miami. Okay.
Yeah, Miami's like an FCS team. What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm locking up the under on MTSU. So let's get to the Flamin' Libs, the final team here. The Flamin' Libs
the schedule's disgusting.
9. Well, they didn't know they'd be joining a conference, so they had to cancel a bunch of games. But 9 is the win total. 12-0. I look at this schedule. Home to Bowling Green.
Well, they play 0 Power 5s.
Yeah, but that's kind of because they had to quickly throw this thing together. So home to Bowling Green, home to New Mexico State, at Buffalo, at FIU. New Mexico State might get them. In fact, I know I said on the New Mexico State one, man, okay, I'll stay 4-0 here, but I feel like New Mexico State could be the one team that gets them. They're the best team I think they play in the first half of the season.
I think they drop one of these.
If it is, it's New Mexico State.
Dude, they got rated in the portal. I mean, they brought in a lot of guys also, but they lost a bunch. They have a brand new head coach, a completely different system. I don't think they're ready to go undefeated in September. They're going to drop one of these.
You're probably right.
So New Mexico State, another reason why you should lock it up then, Nick.
Can we real quick though? Let's talk about the losses they had last year. A 1-point loss at Wake Forest, a 3-point loss at UConn, a 1-point loss against Virginia Tech. They did get throttled on the last game of the season against New Mexico State as Freeze was walking out the door, and then they lost by 2 in the bowl game against Toledo. This team is not that many points away from like a 12-1 season last year. The 3-1 just because there's a new coach, but they're better than all these teams they're playing here.
But also, if you look at returning starters, you got 5 on offense, 3 on defense. You're looking at returning experience, 119th in the country. So they lost a lot. I don't know if last year, I mean, a different head coach, completely different roster. I don't know if last year even matters that much.
Yeah,
but they did go get some guys in the portal. I feel like, right? I feel like that some of that foul blood money was paying for some paying for some guys.
Well, listen, for as much as every team is impacted by the transfer portal, recruiting is still kind of the base of your team to an extent. Like if everyone, let's assume, is awash within the transfer portal, then recruiting is still kind of a differentiating factor, and they're just far more talented from a recruiting standpoint than most of the teams on their schedule, almost all of them.
It's a fair statement.
I would also say that like Liberty brings in better transfer portal guys than pretty much every team in this conference.
Yeah.
Probably. You look at it and you're like, they're getting guys from Auburn and Michigan State and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I trust it a little more. Yeah. So let's say 3-1 at the bye week, and then they're home to Sam Houston, at Jacksonville State, home to Middle Tennessee, at Western Kentucky. I mean,
tough stretch.
I got them 2-2 in that stretch.
Yeah. So that's 3 losses. They can't have another loss, but they won't have another loss.
Yeah. 9-3 is right. Vegas got this right.
I actually think I lean towards the over.
I do too.
I'm gonna lean towards the under. Actually, I don't know. I'm not buying it yet. I think it's gonna take a while for that new system from Jimmy Chadwell. You know, I think you're right. I mean, it's 9 for a reason, not because they're the best team in this conference. It's because it's by far the best schedule in this conference. But I'm gonna lean under, but I certainly don't love it because it is fucking easy, man.
I had 6 overs, 3 unders. Maybe I need to move Liberty into an under position.
I only had 3 unders too.
5 and 4 for me. 5 overs, 4 unders.
Maybe the conference USA just has a good year.
I just don't feel good about Liberty. Like Liberty could be on the under. I don't have a great feel for the Liberty one because of all the turnover, let alone the turnover within the conference.
Right.
My locks are Western Kentucky over, La Tech under. I still kind of want to do FIU over. Anybody talk me into that? Anybody want to ride?
No.
Well, I got FIU under, so I'm not going to.
I'm locking up New Mexico State over, Middle Tennessee State under, and I will add in a third lock of I think I trust Sam Houston. I don't know, Jacksonville State or Sam Houston 5. I'd have to do a deep dive again. I'm just gonna stick with New Mexico State and Middle Tennessee. Those are my 2 plays. Patty C, what do you lock up? I'm
borrowing one from each of you. I got New Mexico State on the over and Louisiana Tech on the under.
There we go.
Let's do it.
Folks, subscribe to the College Football Experience. We're breaking down all the conferences. This is a long ass episode. That's because we're brand new to the CUSA, just like the world is, baby. The new CUSA. But yeah, subscribe. We're on Twitter, or first give us a follow on Twitter, I guess, at TCE on SGPN. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. NC Nick is on Twitter at NC__NICK. Patty C is on Twitter at PattyC831. give us all a follow, please. If you can help on over to iTunes and give us a 5-star review, that really, really helps us. So please, if you can do that. I also host the college. Well, this is the college football experience, but the FCS college football experience, the college basketball experience, Hilltopper fans, Flamin' Lib fans, New Mexico State fans. We got you covered when the basketball season tips. I'll be here every single night of the season talking hoops. Also, subscribe to the college baseball experience. We have the brand new Big 12 experience feed out there. We come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. So all those feeds are separate. So if you want to listen to it, make sure you type that into the search engine wherever podcasts can be found, and you got us. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. Like I said, we got Phil Steele coming on the show next week. Excited about that. So get the SGPN app. It's free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. And check out the Discord. Come talk ball with us in the Discord. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. All right, folks. This is the College Football Experience Conference USA season preview. Love the weekday games. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run, shoot.